James Bean with Seeds Here Now, and I'm lucky enough to be with my good friend Duke Diamond from Dominion Seed Company. So I've known you. I've known of you for about 2-3 years. We've been working together. Basically, I know you through the work that you did with the Brothers Grimm.
Yes, sir.
That's how I originally became aware of your work, and that was awesome. We've had a lot of those, a lot of positive feedback on that early stuff that was done. I know that you did a lot of it.
Yes, sir.
That Rosetta XX. Maybe we will or won't for the record claim, but I'll say that I know that was some beautiful work that you did.
Oh, thank you, man.
Right before you left, though.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And that is what it is. But last year you opened your company, launched the company, shall we say, at the Emerald Cup, and that's pretty much it's a pretty ballsy move because that's anybody who's everybody is kind of at the Emerald Cup. I mean, you're paying $150 to go spend another $150 on seeds instead of just going to seedsherenow.com and buying them. You're going there, and so you're going to get a lot of the upper echelon of the people of the social media people for sure, and so they're going to call you out on your shit if you don't have it. Yeah, and so for you to be there, have a booth, and have the jars, and be like, I don't have the skunk, I got the skunk. And be able to show them that, I think that everybody was able to feed off of that, and I think it's done you wonders. So.
Yeah, man, like that's definitely a really big thing because you can say something, but proof's in the pudding, as they say. And
especially
like that 187 too. It's like I can't even describe this.
People are sleeping on it.
Yeah, I know.
It's such a nice plant.
Everybody that got them, though, they hit me up.
And nobody understands the 187. So, and I didn't get it at first. I thought it was like a gangster thing. So the 187 is it's Cindy 99
and 88
and 88 hash plant.
Yep.
So 99 and 88, 187. Simple maths. It's nothing. But yeah, it's a beautiful flower. So I was with Obsolete. Obsolete took wanted one of all your packs. Looked at that one, was like, that one seems a little fruity for me. Of course, what did you send me home with? A jar of the 187.
Yeah, man. I gave him that pudding.
I said, have this jar. He's like, what's that? I was like, that's the 187 you passed on. He's like, I'll take 4 of those.
Yeah, get the pudding that in your pipe, man. Yeah, give it a shot.
So that was really good. So tell the people who may not be really know a lot about your brand or Dominion Seed Company, or even about Duke Diamond, how you do, what you do, why you do with your company. I know you do a lot of work with the kids. A lot of people don't understand that the kids get some amazing oils and flour from you. Yeah. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I guess where it really starts off is like the drive part of why we're working the way that we're working, right? So some people work hype stuff. Some people work a unique line. Some people integrate hype and unique, and there's a whole different way to mash it up. So I personally believe that some of the best worked lines that you could really, your standbys, you could really rely on that in a breeding program. And you were already starting off in the right realm, and you weren't gonna be 10 steps watered down. You were back at the start. Right. When things really started becoming very potent, high yielding, all the boxes are getting checked. So we feel like that is a good place to start on, and also people forgot about a lot of that, or they just weren't alive. Right. Or they were alive, but they were 10 years old, weren't smoking it, or the right circle, right region, and we wanted to bring out some people's all-time old favorites, and then turn on people who just heard about the crusty old dude talking about smoking this or that back at this show, and now they can do that too.
Get access to be the crusty old dude and stuff.
Yeah, and then be like, crusty old dude. That was
you knew what was up.
That was good shit.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then also people smoking that same gene pool day in, day out. Eventually, you're gonna burn out. It's a science, By giving them a different gene pool, it kind of re-sparks some things, kind of hits you different. So there's that aspect of it too. The main direction that drives it is kind of other than nostalgia, medical necessity. So when I first got to Colorado, I met up with some people, and I gave them some weed. They were trying to get up meds for patients, and they were all down around the springs and everything. Their caregivers and stores and everything pretty much left them out to dry because wreck happened, and everybody's moving that direction. So they weren't getting much love, and that kind of, it pissed me off. So I was like, oh, fuck that, you know. So I give them a bunch of weed, and I give them some hash, some bubble hash, and some dry sift, you know, the whole works. And they come back and like, the results are amazing. You know, like we're getting like some night and day results. You know, there were like certain things used to help, but not like this. And they were like, you're on to something.
They had the watered down shit before. And
watered down or just not growing well, you know? And so I was like, well, you know, fuck that. I'm gonna take care of y'all. Now they had like this big support group. So, you know, each one of them also knows, you know, 6 other people. So it's like this big group of people, all with similar ailments, but some of them have very, very rare genetic diseases and things that typical medicine, like there's some things that there are no pharmaceutical drugs that will take care of this.
Right. Or it's one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other.
Or both, and one's counteracting the other. So certain cultivars that we roll with are like miracle drugs for these kids, you know? Like baby Ezra, born, I mean, if you could picture taking a newborn baby and bending them backwards in half like a sandwich or something, like the nerves in this kid's body are just making it try to like strangle himself, you know? Couple things that we do, it relieves that. And over time, and as he's grown up, you know, he's gone to like, you know, being RA to like, he's verbal now, he's playing, he you know, he can speak now.
Right.
That wasn't happening
That's
before.
all due to cannabis.
And yeah, and also like he can walk around a little bit now, you know, he's doing leg braces, crutches, you know, but he was in bedridden, not even in a wheelchair, in bed. So, you know, that was a beautiful thing. So,
and it's really hard to argue with once you see it.
Yeah,
That's once you see somebody in a grand mal seizure and you see your mom pull out this tincture and give her 2 drops and she stops, it's like, I've seen it. You can't argue with me.
Yeah, you can't argue with the fact.
I've seen it.
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly.
So that's cool. And I know that you're one of everybody does a lot of work for the kids and everybody that helps a lot of people, but I know that you personally, I've seen it. I've been jealous of you. I'm sorry, the kids need it more than I do, but I've been jealous. They get some really great, some great pop.
They getting a real big haul, like all the new stuff, you know. They get a lot of the old stuff, the standby, we know it works. They get a lot of that. Right. And then every time I roll through with different phenos of, you know,
something new.
And like the thing is, it's like old standby, I know this is why, because it's this terpene, because that's really the deal that does like the workhorse that I've noticed. It's terpene effect, you know. I mean, it's the whole entourage thing, all the cannabinoids, but you know, what makes it do what it do for somebody was terpene content. And so if one thing's doing well, I know that, and I can say, okay, well, these 2 things together should give me the same terpene profile, but yet be different enough so they can rotate. Because like me, I need it for sleep. You know, I have to be able to get to sleep. So if I don't smoke weed, I'm not going to sleep. So now if I smoke the same weed every day, well, I'm starting to lose that medicinal effect, so I have to rotate it, you know. This night this night this night this. Same with them. So through the breeding program, we're able to give them different phenos, and, you know, all of them work good, but one of them worked great. Well, guess what? You know, we're keeping that clone. Whether or not I'm continuing to breed with it or do whatever, that will be set aside to grow meds for them and another to the rotation.
Right.
You know?
That's awesome. I think that one thing that I personally enjoy, every time I get to see you, every time I get together before a new drop, you'll always give me the flower sift or the rosin of what is about to come. Like it's like you've grown it out, you've tested it, you've smoked it, you've squished it. It's passed all your boxes. You know, sometimes I'll get a list of like 12 items, and then I come and see or we'll talk, and that's down to 6 items now. Yeah. And so those other things, you know, everybody thinks, oh, you make so many seeds. Yes, but not all of them win.
Yeah. Everything, if you see what window the trash can.
And I've seen your torture chamber, which is now an entire torture room where you beat plants to death, to make them stronger. But it's pretty awesome. I mean, because a lot of people aren't doing that on stress testing enough.
Yeah, and like so, the thing is, like, I gotta be able to sleep at night. And if I give you a pack of seeds, I give you a pack of seeds, give all y'all packs of seeds, and y'all know your shit, right? I know you're gonna do good. I know you're gonna do fine. But I know some of my friends, like from back home, them dudes could burn boiled water. Like, I mean, like they can really screw some stuff up, you know? And I know there's a lot of people out there, whether it's carelessness, lack of, you know, experience or whatever. It might just be their first time and nobody told them that, you know, or maybe somebody did tell them, be like, oh yeah, Uyghur is great, like, you know, down in South America. So, 99 degrees, you're good. Plenty of humidity, you know? So they might get some misinformation. And, you know, some people
in case that happens, you've tested for it, and so your plants are going to freak out.
I know that it's not going to harm out. And, like, you're going to suffer some quality, you know? But the thing is like, out of everything, like, some things might not take the stress as good. And I can note in there like, hey, you know, you overfeed this, you're gonna have a problem, you know, or something that, you know, the slightest light leak made it freak out. But there's certain other things that go unaffected by pretty much everything, or it might have one little problem. But even though like it might pass all those things, well, quality at the end is what's important.
Paramount.
So like I have a primo room, you know, everything's grown to, like, you know, I can't use the word perfection, but as good as I can grow it to my ability.
I think you said that once. Your hands are the first ones to touch that weed.
Yeah, exactly. So we have that. So like I know what it's like primo, but like if it still holds up a pretty damn good quality where it's 90 something degrees and I've been trying to kill it essentially, you know, and then having like another controlled batch to see like which phenotypes are a little more pest resistant than others, or maybe all of them, or maybe none of them.
Which I saw. Yeah.
We can say, and like that gives me a little more information to pass along to make sure that the person's going to have a good experience right off the bat. And if I got my guys doing outdoor in different regions, you know, different parts of the country, I got you a pretty good harvest date. I know that. Is it going to mold out on you? You going to bud rot? You know,
don't try this.
Powdery mildew.
Don't try this 12-week strain on the Oregon coast.
So like, you know, my guys that are like in Oregon, they're growing like near hops farms. Those hops, dude, they get a lot of powdery on those hops. Like you're setting yourself up for failure.
Well, nobody really gets powdery these days. Just kind of blow it. Gone.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
I haven't seen powdery in forever.
Oh, right.
I think they cured it.
Yeah, man. But, you know, nonetheless, like when they grow it out there, you know, that's a powdery mildew environment. Like you're asking for it. And if I can see like some things are very resistant to that, like I'm real happy. Plus it's a wet environment. It's a short season. Wow. So I know like there, northern Maine, right? Those are, you know, I'm getting a little East Coast, getting a little West Coast. I can see what's going on, and you know, maybe like down southeast, maybe high altitude and dry around here. I get a pretty good baseline, so I feel like if I can do all these things and be sure that the first time grower that might just completely mess up, he's gonna have a good time, and guys like yourself and these fellas here, their experience, they're gonna have an extra good time, you know, and I can sleep at night, you know.
It makes it easy on my side because I don't have any complaints. There's no satisfaction guarantees calling in. People just calling in want more. So how come you don't have any more local skunk? I said, well, because we're out of it.
Yeah, but people like that one a lot. That was one of my things I was most proud of.
Sold out,
Yeah, and that's a really, really, really good one.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you took that local skunk and crossed it with the Screaming
Eagle.
Screaming Eagle.
That's 6 mil.
6 mil. That's
buddy.
Which will be at Emo Cup. I'm very much so looking forward to that. I saw it. Frosty is all I'll get out. Now that brings me to your breeding. As far as your breeding goes, you're one of my personal favorites. One is that you start with the real deal cuts. Like I know Kim Dog through you because you met Kim Dog in a park way back when.
No, I met him at his crib, man. I stayed at his house.
So I don't have to. So you obviously got those cuts from him.
Yeah.
You got these other cuts that like you got the lavender. How you were able to verify the lavender from the West Coast.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Through Mad Farmer.
Yeah, my buddy
third
Thomas.
Party. Yeah.
Y'all probably know.
I was gonna say edit that out. No, but
Thomas. Yeah, Thomas Hall. I don't know if you know him. He got long hair. He's originally from Georgia. He, like I say, he used to go up there and trim with their crew and stuff, and got hooked up.
And they said that the only time they ever let it go was this one guy who was trimming, who was really for him. He was
from back really east. Cool dude. Yeah, that's him.
And that's how I was like, these two stories match up. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's my buddy.
And so that's what I think when you start with the real thing and your breeding process, you're gonna your outcomes are gonna be a lot better instead of you starting with something watered down or lesser or further on down the line.
Yeah, man.
Something else you do is you do work. When I came to you 3 years ago and I told you, I think I was looking at that time. I had put a bounty on the skunk.
Yeah,
the roadkill skunk. I was like, I'll give you $10,000 if I need a roadkill skunk, because it was my belief.
Where's my money?
I paid you. You made money, but because I believed it was dead. I believe some guy in Alaska probably had it who was holding on to it. But for all intents and purposes, everywhere I had gone, I couldn't. I wasn't around when the roadkill skunk was, but everything I smelled was not what was called the roadkill skunk.
Yeah, something skunk.
There was a lot of skunky, sweetie, but not that.
Yeah.
In 3 years. You came out and as your first year as Dominion Seed Company dropped 2 skunks at Immelkop.
Very limited, and it was like
blew people away.
And like I was just tired of you like said the same story. Like guys sold me this, and it was like sweet as pie, And
a lot of people don't understand that you can't just take A and cross it with B and get C. Sometimes you have to take A, cross it with E, take that, cross that with F, and then take that combination.
And maybe come back to A, and then maybe do the same thing on the other side in reverse order.
And then take that project and then cross it over here, and then you've got the first starting step.
Yeah, and you're chasing gene pairs the whole time, and you're breeding for particularly like a smell. And so I was saying like reversing males, like that's the only sure shot way, because a lot of guys will be like, oh man, the stem rub. I mean, I have had that happen where the stem rub, and it was a stinky plant, But more times than not, it's not necessarily indicative of what you're having. So it's like I need to know. So I'm gonna reverse that male, terpene rich type potential diet, if you will, and bloom them out full cycle. That way I have an idea like, what he's trying to pass on his X that be represented in the X chromosomes of the females and the progeny, right? And it could be a wild link trait involved as well,
And that's just for one part.
Oh yeah, we ain't even getting started.
A lot of people don't understand it, and of course I've seen your vault, so I've seen all these steps. I'm like, what are this? What's this? And you're like, oh, it was a step to make this, or it was a step to get here to see if these would work. And so a lot of people don't. I mean, a lot of people just take a strain across with strain, like, okay, that's your strain, and I'm like, no, that's not a work line. You didn't do anything special,
right? And like the skunk one, like, all right, there's a male, so you might look at it and be like, okay, Kim Dog D, skunk one, great fucking job, right? Yeah. Well, I don't have it on there, but no, that's work to F9. Just that skunk one. Constantly going it stinkier and stinkier.
Finding.
Yeah. And like we're at F11, but back when I made those, that was F9. Yeah, some people do IBLs right?
Well, nobody can do an IBL like that. We'll leave that alone. So, takes your time to get back to a 9.
Yeah. So... So anyway, man. So if we're at like an F9 here, it took a lot of time. Say we're starting at F4, and we're talking 1990s, an F5 generation, just to keep it going, And if I'm picking it up, say later on at F7, and like I got something real good, but I can refine it further. Right. And then if I'm reversing that male and I'm making sure that I'm on point, everything, all the other criteria is being met, I can use that male in confidence and know that, like, this progeny, I stand a really good chance. So then you get to growing it out, and you're like, yeah, that's spot on. So I'm testing that male out. So I have, 2-3 other projects that, like I said, nobody's had. I haven't released. I don't give it out. It stays in-house. It's long term, right? But some of the other things, really, really good, Cap G and the polecat and all that stuff, but it was super limited. It was basically what I had left over from these huge pheno hunts, right? Trying to make another step. People were so stoked on that stuff. Like, what about, the other one you got? It's like, well, Dominion's another step, but can do. You know, if you want it, fuck it, go for it. You know what I mean? But we have all these other projects that go on around it to do more of a traditional pure skunk, but these chem skunk hybrids where you're getting like, it's like two of my favorite things. Right. And if I can get them to blend together and balance out, like I like that.
That's something good goal. So that brings me to the next thing. So you don't know this shit, but and I don't have the trophy yet, but you're going to be our 2018 Breeder of the Year. For most packs sold, the quickest sellouts. I think the 4th of July sold out in 6 hours.
Wow.
And what we feel at the office, the happiest customers, the most return customers, and then the least return backs, like anybody that as far as complaining or had situations that we had to fix. And so thank you for first of all, for being a great friend. That's most importantly. Second of all, for working your ass off and making such unique strains and a desired product. You definitely put in the work. As always, we always offer 100% satisfaction guarantee. I thank you very much, friend.
Oh man, thank you, man.
You can grab all this stuff at the Demo Cup, and we'll have
like my people. They're watching this like right now.
Yeah, there's some people watch this maybe.
Oh, thank y'all. Like my looking here.
There. We'll put it on the web.
Yeah, that type of shit. You know, it blows me away.
I didn't tell you, but yeah.
Thank you very much for the support and like what y'all do. I don't like to be the person who does hey, I went out and I just did something really good for somebody. Hey, look at me. I got a selfie with them. And like, you know, I don't like that so much. And like, I mean, it's good to spread awareness and so on, but a lot of people do it in a bad way. You know, they want the pat on the back, the attaboy, the look at me. And that you know, so like that type of environment, makes me like, you know, I don't want to typically say a whole lot, but, you know, we're delving on these kids. What we have going on, those seed sales pay bills. Those bills are high for a warehouse. It takes a lot of space and a lot of time to do this. That weed that I grow, whether it's in testing, even when I make seed, I tumble, I use every bit of this plant. This all goes to those patients. These are not rich people. They don't have any money. They go in debt because they have children they're trying to take care of that, you know, hospital bills and all this stuff. It's very, very expensive, you know. So I refuse to take their money, but I will take somebody's money that has money in exchange for something good that I'm proud of. And that is what feeds us to allow us to do what we do and make this thing work and get full circle. It's kind of like the way I thought shit should be like in a perfect world, you know? Like somebody told me like, you know, you don't bitch about something all the time. If you want some fucking change, you be the change. You go out and change it, right? So, you know, thank you very much for the support. And, you know, we try to do a good job and keep doing a good job for everybody. But, you know, thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah, I didn't know all that, man.
I didn't tell you, but yeah, we got you. So that'll be, it was Exotic the first year, it was Archive the second year, and now it'll be Dominion Seed Company with Duke Diamond. So the happiest customers, the most seeds, and the overall feedback. So
wow,
we appreciate
crazy,
it.
Man.
But thank you all for buying. Check out his stuff below. You can buy all those packs. We're doing a price drop. He's decided to give you guys some gears for some really good deals. So jump on it. If you're not currently growing anything in your garden, you definitely should be. And check out the videos he's got on his other strains currently below. So thank you.